In order for a web application to qualify as a progressive web app, it must fulfill some baseline characteristics. In this lecture, we will discuss these characteristics one by one. Number one, the site must be served over HTTPS instead of HTTP. As you can see, the application that we're going to build has that feature already, and we are making use of Google Firebase for the same. So if you look at the certificate over here, you can see that the certificate has been issued to firebaseapp.com, and you can see some details about the same as well. Number two, the pages must be responsive on tablets and mobile devices. We are going to use a CSS framework called Bootstrap from Twitter, which helps us design our application in a responsive manner. For example, if I go to this particular page over here, and this is how we see this on the browser, but if I press F12 and go to the developer console, where I have enabled the device toolbar and I'm seeing my application on an simulated iPhone 6, 7, 8. And you can see that the list of movies which were displayed as a grid, now it shows one below the other. If I change the device from iPhone to, let's say, an iPad, and you see now I'm able to see it in a different way. The third aspect of a progressive web app is all app URLs should load while offline. So our application, for example, if I'm on the home page, if I go to offline, if I turn off my Wi-Fi, and then if I refresh, you can see that the app is rendered without any problem. Of course, the searching of the movie based on a keyword may not display any result, but I'm not getting any error message as such that you don't have an internet connection. My application is still running without the internet connection. Whereas if I visit a website like youtube.com, you can see that I get no internet error message. We can handle that even here also and display a custom user-friendly error message saying that you are currently offline. Or you can also cache the results of some of these movies offline and then present the same thing to the user. I'm back online, so if I refresh, I should be able to see the results once again. Number 4 feature of a progressive web application is it should have metadata provided for add to home screen. While this is applicable for a mobile device, even on a desktop, you can see that I have a plus icon here. Clicking on this icon gives me an option to install app. You see an icon over here. You see a name as well as the location from where this gets installed. If I click on install on Chrome, it will be installed as an app on the Chrome. So I can as well visit the URL chrome://apps, and you should see an application called MB or movie browser over here. I also have a couple of other applications over here, out of which the progressive web applications are here. Number 1 is Angular, Firebase, PWA, etc. There's a Photopea, there's a Collateral, there's Angular. So these are some of the applications that I've installed. Now I have the movie also. So clicking on this will open the application in a separate window. Basically, this is behaving like a standalone application on your desktop or laptop. If you open your website using Chrome on your Android phone, you should see a pop-up that comes and says add to home screen. And this is possible using a metadata provided along with your application. Number 5 feature of a progressive web application is the first load must be fast even on a 3G network. And this is ensured using our Angular single page web application concept, where the initial component is typically the home component like this, which are very lightweight. As well, you can do something called lazy loading of components. And this feature is very much provided by Angular itself. Number 6, site works cross-browser, which means your application must work on different browsers in the same fashion. For example, your application should behave the same whether it is on Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, or Safari. And Angular ensures that our application runs on all these browsers seamlessly. Number 7, page transitions don't feel like they block on the internet. The transition should feel snappy as you tap around even on a slow network, a key to perceived performance. This is achieved by developing a single page application or a client rendered application where a user, when transits from one page to another page, we must show a skeleton screen at least and use any content such as title, thumbnail, something that is readily available instead of waiting for the entire data to be loaded. Eighth and final basic characteristics of a progressive web application is that every page should have its own URL. This is to ensure that individual pages are deep linkable via the URLs, and the URLs are unique for the purpose of shareability on social media. For example, we are in the home page over here that has a different URL for itself. When I type something and press enter here, you can see that the URL shows this. The reason for this separate URL is now I can copy this and share it to someone via a email or a different means, and when they click on that particular URL, they should be able to see the similar result as well. Similarly, when I select a particular movie over here, you can see that I have this particular URL. I should be able to copy this and share it to someone, so when they open that particular link by clicking on that hyperlink, they should be able to see the same result as mine. When you develop a web application and you intended that application to be a progressive web app, you can always check whether it has met all these baseline features by going to the developer console. There is a section called audit, and then you can run an audit, and one of the features that you can test whether your application is progressive web app or not is mentioned over here. And at the end, when our application has been developed, we will use this tool called Lighthouse to check the same.